Good evening, and welcome to another Black Mental Health is Black Health. I'm your host, Bronwyn, Miss B, the Black Couch Therapist. Well, we always start off with some deep breathing before we talk to anybody, or even I just talk to you, because that breathing helps us decompress from the day, puts more oxygen in our brain and our body, and helps us have that woosah moment. So let's do it. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. One more. In, 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. I counted you guys in. I needed one breath for myself. Because tonight we're talking about how to manage societal stress. So tonight is not a guest, it's just me, because I've talked to so many people who are stressed out. Life in America right now is a little crazy. Being Black in America is a little crazy, a little stressful, a little anxiety producing. That's a fact. I don't even need to deny it. And we can admit it's a fact. It's stressful, man, dealing. You look at laws that are changing, you look at how voting rights are being eroded, you look at things that happen from the White House, and it's like, what? You look at things that happen in your city, what? People are being fired, people are being laid off, what? Children are being cut off from SNAP, their food, because we can't figure out what to do with this government shutdown. What? All of these things make you say, what is going on? It's true, it's real. But how do you not let it impact your mental well-being? Because it's going to be true, it is true, and we have to learn how to deal with it. So I've got a few tips and things to help you manage this stressful time in our society. So let's talk about them. I have a nice list. We're going to see if we can get through all of them. I'm not sure, but we're going to try to get through all the tips I have. So let's get started. The first one I'm going to start with, and these are, let me say, they're in no order. They are just what popped into my head. And they're grouped together, but no real order. So understand, they're just here for us to think about. So the first thing I want to say is be spiritually grounded. You don't have to do this by yourself. You have, for me, my faith is in God. If you have your sense of faith, your sense of what grounds you spiritually, you can understand there's something better than and greater than this stress that you're feeling, greater than America is crazy. Like I said, it is. I'm not going to debate that. I don't believe in toxic positivity where it's all good, it's all rosy. No, it's not. But you don't have to live in that place. So, number one, be spiritually grounded. Know that there's something greater than you. There's something greater than the craziness that we experience with this life in America. Have that spiritual grounding and stick with it. Number two, limit your intake of the news. You can read the news, you can listen to the news, you can see the news on television. And if you watch too much of it, it's overwhelming. Yes, you need to be informed. However, limit it. Find your way. For some people, it's a matter of I'm only going to watch the news. Others, I'm only going to read it. Others, I'm only going to listen to it. Others, I'm going to watch the news every other day. I figure if something, this is a quote from somebody, I figure if something major happens, everybody else will know it and somebody will tell me. Because they had to limit it, because watching too much, watching, reading, listening to too much of everything going on can be depressing and anxiety producing. It's like, it's just too much, as I keep saying. So limit your intake. Do you need to be informed and aware? Yes. It's crucial to be informed, be aware, but you don't have to bombard yourself with it. So slow it down. You don't have to know everything in the moment. And to that same end, be careful who you listen to. When it comes to news, find reputable sources. Fact check any and everyone you listen to. No matter how much you think they're on it, fact check everybody. And that goes not just be careful who you listen to in terms of the news, even in your personal life. There are some people you know whose views are, you just can't get with them. Maybe they can still be your friend, but maybe there are certain things you don't talk about. Or maybe you want to guard your mind. And to that end, number 4 says connect with positive people. I have friends, we can talk about the news, talk about what's going on. And then it's like, okay, that's enough. And we will stop the conversation and start something else. One of my friends says, oh, let's pivot. When it gets too deep, let's pivot. We've gone down this rabbit hole and the whole energy in the room is coming down. Let's pivot. You don't have to talk about it all the time. We get in these conversations in our living room, we can solve the problems of the world. And then you open that door and, well, they're still there. So pivot. Connect with positive people where you can have a balanced conversation. It's not always, I need to know everything what's going on. Oh, did you hear this? Did you hear that? Yeah. Talk about it. Be aware. Just not all the time. So maybe you're going to be the one that's positive to others, but you don't want to be the only one. So when those conversations get too deep for too long, pivot. Find a way to talk about something else. Understand that everything isn't bad. But if all you do is talk about everything that's going on, there's no balance. I could sit here and name just all what I heard on the news just today is enough to make me feel depressed. But get out of that. I talked about checking on, knowing your people. Also, check on your people so that they can check on you. In this time, I find in my practice more and more people who are anxious and overwhelmed about everything that's going on. I have talked with people in my personal and professional life who have been part of that layoff. Those Black women we hear about who've been laid off, yes, I know them personally and professionally. And helping manage that stress. Some are handling better than others. But if you have a good support system, it can be better, understanding you're not in it alone. So when you're checking on your people, we all need some kind of support system. You were not meant to live life alone. We were not created to be in isolation. And that's one thing we learned from COVID, that how hard it was when people couldn't get out. If you were living alone, how hard it was. So you're not meant to live alone. So check on your people, the people in your life. And then maybe they can be there to check on you. It's a two-way street, but connect with people. You're not to be alone. Then this next group, and as I said, these are just going to be some tips tonight to help you think about the world is crazy. I need to manage how I deal with it better. Manage your overall health. Now that comes with what you eat, what you move, where you sleep, which are all the next points I want to talk about. So when we're managing our health, if you have insurance, use it. Get a checkup. If you don't have insurance, maybe where you are, access your county health system and see what you can do for yourself. There are screenings. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we talked about that last week with a survivor. And she's a survivor and a thriver because she did get things checked out. There are a lot of free screenings you can get for various forms of cancer, and cancer is ravaging the African American community. Breast cancer, she found a way to get her free mammogram, and that's when they found an issue. So manage your overall health. Do what you can for your health. Things to help you manage your health. Number 7 is exercise. Well, I don't like exercise. Oh, that's too much. Or I don't have time. We can find all kinds of things to say why we don't want to exercise. Do you want to live longer? So exercise doesn't have to be hard. Exercise could be something as simple as I'm going to park further away when I go to the grocery store so I can walk a little further. I'm going to get up and I'll take the stairs at work. I'll just maybe one flight. I might work on 15th floor. I'm not walking up 15, so I'll take one flight of steps. Even that will get you in there. The more you move your body, the more your body can move. So as a therapist, I do teletherapy, and I can sit. If I have 6 clients in a day, that's 6 hours of sitting. That's a lot of time, even if you have a little break in between each one. So I have an under the desk elliptical, and so I get some movement in. I can actually tell the difference when I do it and when I don't. You are moving, you're helping your body circulate the blood better. You're moving, your heart rate can go up. I do it for like 10 minutes, an hour for each hour. I found this one out from someone. She says if she's just sitting at home watching television, she stands up on the commercials and walks in place. Every time she says, well, after work, I know I'm going to watch TV for a couple hours. So she stands up, walks in place, moving it. Doctors will tell you that motion of standing and moving is very healthy for your body. It's helping that blood flow through your body. So exercise doesn't have to be just that hard going to the gym. I do like it. I've just joined the gym, but everybody don't want to do it. You don't have to. Get your body moving. Under that, manage your overall health. Eat healthy. Junk in, junk out. In our community, we see a lot of diabetes. When you go to the family cookout, you're going to have some good potato salad. Carbs, not always good for you if you're diabetic. Somebody's going to make a real cake. They're not going to the store. They're going to make their pound cake, and you got to get just a little piece of pound cake. Moderation. So think about what you're putting in your body. Are you limiting the white sugar you eat? Are you eating more fruits and vegetables? I don't really like vegetables. Well, if you like your body, find some you do like. Eat multicolored food. You want your greens, you want your oranges, which would be your carrots, which be your cabbage, your greens, your kale, your collard greens, your turnip greens, your mustard greens, lettuce, dark green leafy lettuce. So get those green foods in your life. Eating sweet potatoes. White potatoes aren't totally bad. I've done more and more research on them. You want to have less white food in your diet because it's more starchy. Green beans, fruits, vegetables, fruits. The summer is ending and we have less of, variety of fruits, but apples are so good and we can have apples year round. They're very good for your body. So junk in, junk out. So what are you eating? There's strong correlation between what you eat and your mental health. Sugar is a very addictive element. And so the more you're eating sugar, the more your body craves it. And it is not good for your mental well-being to have all that in your body. So think about what you're putting in. I always talk about physical health, mental health are together. You impact one, you impact the other. They're not separate. You cannot separate them. So what you're eating, that's going to impact your mental health as well. What about sleep? If I were in a room with you and said, raise your hand if you feel like you get enough sleep, that I wouldn't get enough, would not get 50% of the people raising your hand. Well, I have this stressful job, and in this job economy, I've got to make sure I keep my job. So I'm, working at home, or I'm tired when I get home. And sometimes I'm just too tired to sleep. These are things I hear. They're real. Been there. I get it. But getting enough sleep and rest. And there's a difference between sleep and rest. Sleep, REM sleep, the little stages of sleep where you actually sleep. But do you get rest? And what is the quality of your sleep? Rest doesn't only happen when you're asleep. Rest is you're letting your mind and body not be involved with doing anything. It's quietness. Just woosah. Some people do yoga. Some people meditate and get in a different state of mind. And that good rest can enhance your quality of sleep. We do need sleep. When you're sleeping, your body is regenerating. It's rebuilding itself. So your body needs that 8 hours or more, 7 to 8 hours to stop and regrow and reinvigorate. The cells in your body need time to stop and rework themselves and figure out, okay, we're good. Sleep is hard, and some people use different aids to sleep. Be careful what you use, and definitely if you are having to use artificial or outside means to help you sleep, make sure you're talking with your doctor. There are studies, and depending on your age, a lot of people take Benadryl and NyQuil, but the ingredient in that is not good for your mental health for seniors. It has there's a correlation. There's studies that talk about diphenhydramine, which is that particular element, that chemical, that is not healthy for Alzheimer's. It has something to do with, and you can read it. I've read the studies. I don't want to misquote them, but it negatively impacts your brain cells. So if you're using things to go to sleep, be careful. Some people say, well, I'm just going to have a drink at night, just a little. Well, how often are you having to do that? And if you're in a position where you have to have something to go to sleep, maybe you need to talk to your doctor. Maybe you need to look at, are there some natural things such as relaxation, meditation, quietness? There are apps for that. YouTube has things for that where you can maybe listen to calming music to help you get in that space and place. There's one that has someone in a wonderful voice just reading scripture and things like that that can speak again to your spirit and to your body and help you get in that place of calm and being in a good place. So with managing your health, there's exercise, just movement, healthy eating, getting sleep and rest. But what else are you putting in your body? Listen to some feel-good music. I work with clients who are, some clients who are cutters, self-harm. And pretty much every person I've worked with who self-harm says that there is music they listen to when they want to self-harm. The music puts them in that mood to enhance their ability to self-harm. Music is very, very powerful. Music can set your mood. It can change your mood. We can listen to music that makes you feel good and you just want to get up and move. I have certain cleaning music. I can put it on and I've got energy so I can go and clean the house, and I'm scrubbing floors and doing all this because the music is right. It's setting the tone. You have music when you want to be in a solitary mood. I want to be reflective and quiet. I'm going to listen to some jazz and get me in that, some instrumental music to set the tone. I'm working on finishing one more book. And when I want to write, I listen to instrumental gospel music. I want something because the book has a spiritual element to it. So music can set your mood. Music can help you feel a certain kind of way. So figure out what you want to listen to. Then we can combine some things. I talked about exercise and walking. Go for a walk and put on some music that makes you feel good. I always like to add, and for safety, if you're putting on earbuds, only put on one while you're walking. You need to be aware of your surroundings. So put on one earbud, let the other ear stay free so you can hear what's going on around you. But listen to some good music that is going to make you feel good. And that's different for everybody. I can't tell you what's going to make you feel good. I can't tell you what might make me feel good today, what the mood I want to be in versus tomorrow. Also, listen to comedy. And these things are free. YouTube is free. You can go to YouTube. You can listen to music. You can listen to some comedy. Why comedy? Laughter is good medicine. You can put on something funny and just laugh. There are tons of comedians out there. You can listen to old school comedians. You can listen to new school comedians. You can listen to clean comedians. You can listen to not so clean comedians. But whatever it is, if it's going to make you laugh, there is something called laughing yoga. And you start off laughing and it's not a real laughter having you just laugh, but by the end, you're just laughing. You will find, and just think about it, when you are laughing, laugh until it just hurts, you feel good. Your mood is elevated. And you're using even different muscles to laugh than you are when you're frowning. And so your face is different. Your body is different. You feel good. Laughter will elevate your mood. So find something to make you laugh. There are so many comedians out there. If you've never listened to comedians, go to YouTube and put in clean comedy, clean comics. Christian comics. Think of somebody you know, put their name in, and comics like so and so. If you find one you like, you can find others that are like that. And you know how they are with these little algorithms. Once you listen to one, others will pop up all the time and you'll have it. So listen to music. Listen to something that makes you feel good because you're putting it in, it's going in your ears, going in your mind, and your body is going to be able to tell. Number 12, tap into your own creativity. Now, creativity is different for different people. Some people write, some people paint, some people sing, some people dance, some people garden. Yes, that's a creativity. It's tapping into that left side of your brain that's allowing you to do more. Why is that important? Especially if your job is very analytical and you don't get to use that. That creativity is coming from the inside of you. It's you. You know, I at one point was doing, just painting. I want to get back to it, making jewelry, creating things to give to people. When you do it, you have a sense of satisfaction when you look at what you've done. It's like, that was good. Look at what I did. And it's, as I said, it's going to the different side of your brain. You're going to feel good because wow, I have tapped into something different in my brain and I feel good. It's another side of your body and it allows you just to woosah. And it lets you see yourself a little differently. It's like, wow, I didn't know I had that in me. But you do. So tap into your own creativity. And it's not, like I said, it's not just artistic. It is so many other ways to be creative. Gardening. Redecorate your room. Just move some furniture around. You might have pictures hanging on your wall. Change the way the room looks. Just go and clean out something and make it look different. But find a creative way to do things. Whatever it is, do it in a creative way. Number 13. Let's see. Find a battle worth fighting. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. When we talk about everything that's going on, there are a lot of problems. If we only talk about the problems, we're part of the problem because we're not helping. You nor I can change everything, but we can change one thing. Find the one thing you're passionate about. Are you passionate about helping children? Are you passionate about helping seniors? Are you passionate about your faith and you want to use your faith to help, not hurt others? What are you passionate about? Find your passion. Oh my gosh, you just forgot his name. Fight the good fight, get in good trouble. I just forgot his name. I know you know it out there. It'll come to me. But yeah, get in good trouble. Fight the good fight. Don't just talk. Do. What can you do? As I said, you don't have to fix every problem. What one can you fix? If you can change the life of one person, you've made a difference. So be in the good fight. Find your part of the battle and be in it, whatever it's going to be. My thing is passing positivity. And I realized, I was like, what am I doing? But that's my thing. I have my midday moment of positivity on this same platform and others where I share positivity with people. Because that's what part of my good fight. So being in the good fight doesn't have to be hard, but it is what you're doing to make a difference in this world that we find so negative. Number 14 out of 16 says, set your personal boundaries. Earlier, I talked about limiting the news. Be careful who you listen to. Set your boundaries. Those boundaries need to be in place with family, friends, and guess what? With yourself. Well, how am I having boundaries with myself? Tell yourself to stop. Tell you have boundaries on your own time. I'm only going to work until such and such time. After that, it's over. I'm not going to take my computer into my bedroom. These are boundaries I know people have set. That one's not mine. I'm not going to take my computer in my bedroom because if I do, I'll work. I want my bedroom to be my sanctuary. That's a boundary you can have with yourself. I am going to do X, Y, Z a day. I am at least once a week going to do something positive. I'm a part of an accountability group, and each week we meet 3 out of 4 weeks in the month, And we said, what are your goals for the week? And we have to set the personal, professional goals and a fun goal. The sad part is, you know what the hardest one for people to set in my group? The fun goal. Why do we have trouble setting a fun goal, but we can set goals for business? I'm working on this project. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this in my house. But what is your fun goal? I don't know. No, that's not good. Have a goal for yourself and be able to, it's okay to say, I'm going to have a fun goal. The fun goal once for one person was they liked movie popcorn. They didn't want to go to a movie. They wanted to go to the movie and just buy some popcorn. And they did because it made them feel good and laugh. Set a fun goal. Be able to set fun goals for yourself. Number 15 is a hard one for some people and easy for others. And that's a journal. Just write how you feel. Now, when you journal, some people, what do I say? I have 2 guided journals coming out in 2026. Shameless plug here. I'll be telling you more about it. You can buy journals that have prompts in them already, or just go write. When you're writing in a journal, there is no punctuation, there is no grammar, there is no correct sentence structure. You're just writing what you feel. You just write. One of the things about freestyle journaling is it allows you to just, it's like dumping it all out. Everything that's been going on, you're just dumping it out. And you can be like, I got it all out. And sometimes just the act of, getting what stressed you out today. I saw this in the news and I'm so angry. I can't believe this just happened. And now they're taking SNAP from kids and they're taking over school districts and this is happening and this is happening. It makes me angry. Write about how you feel. And just in writing it out, all those emotions that were inside of you, you've gotten them out. And so it can be healing just to write it out, just to journal and say, I got some of it out. Some people write letters in their journal, letters to people. Some people write letters to those who are deceased, who they didn't have closure. And writing it out can help. You can write the things, or I'm just writing because you were my go-to person, so I'm writing to you. So there's so much you can do with just writing it out. And the last one, and as I said, these are in no order, but man, this is a hard one. Be still. Just take time out and be still. There's a verse in the Bible that says, be still and know that I am God. Okay, I know you, God. I'm good with that one. But I got to be still to know? Okay, so I am more like, I'm still. Okay, I've been still now. Being still, I'm working on it and I'm getting so much better. It used to be hard to just sit still and listen, sit still and journal. Okay, I want to do something. I can go exercise because that's good. I'll do this. No, be still. Meditation can be hard. So I'm not even saying just sit still and meditate. That is good. That is part of it. But just stop. Just stop. Be still. 3 minutes. Find you, let yourself. Well, my mind is wandering. Okay, just tell those thoughts. Be good, but be still. Even if the mind is wandering, just stop. And those deep breaths we talked about, be still. Listen to some deep breaths. Listen to silence. Sit outside. Listen to the birds. How many times have we just stopped and listened to birds outside? Be still. So tonight was all about saying the world is stressful. The world is crazy. We can't fix everything, but take time for yourself and manage the stress and don't let the stress manage you. I always end with a call to action, and today was really all about 16 points that are a call to action, things for you to do. So I'll sum it up with this. Love yourself enough to take care of yourself. And I always talk about vote, be an educated voter. We're in the election cycle right now. In the state of Texas, I think there's 17 different things that are statewide, propositions that are on the ballot. You can get a voter's guide and read them. In the state of Texas, hopefully you can guess. Oh, I have the background on. Let me see. A voter's guide. I can't show you. But the League of Women Voters has a voting guide. You can pick up a hard copy. You can go to the internet to 411.org and get a voter's guide. Be an educated voter. I talked about being part of the solution, not the problem. If you don't vote, you are part of the problem. I'll see you next week, and we'll have another episode of Black Mental Health is Black Health. I'm your host, Bronwyn, and I enjoyed you tonight. Bye now.